So in this video, we are going to learn how to create lead and add to Salesforce campaign on Jotform submission. Let's say you have created an online form using Jotform and you are using Salesforce as a CRM application. Now you want that whenever you receive a new form submission in Jotform, you want to add that same person with the same details as a lead in Salesforce. Also, you want to add that new Salesforce lead to a particular campaign in your Salesforce CRM. So let me tell you, you can actually automate this whole process. So in this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new form submission in Jotform, automatically with the same details, that user will be added as a lead in Salesforce, and we are going to add this new Salesforce lead to a particular campaign in Salesforce as well. Now, if you want to know how you can set up this automation, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Jotform to Salesforce and then just click on Create. Now you can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on. Where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with our trigger window. Now the idea here is, first we have to connect the form which we have created in Jotform with Pabbly Connect in the trigger window, so that every time we receive a new form submission, a new form response, the details or the form responses will be received inside Pabbly Connect and this automation workflow will trigger. After that, using this Pabbly Connect's automation, we are going to send those form responses to Salesforce, so that the user who has made the form submission with the same form responses, we can add that person as a lead in our Salesforce CRM. And also we are going to add that same lead into a specific campaign in Salesforce. So let's see how it is done. Starting from our trigger window in Choose App, search for Jotform. Just select it. After selecting Jotform, in Trigger Event from the drop-down, select New Response as the trigger event. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. And now using this webhook URL, we are going to connect the form which we have created in Jotform with Pabbly Connect. Just copy this webhook URL from here and follow the help text given below over here. After copying this webhook URL, just go to the form which you have created in Jotform and open this form in edit mode. After opening it, just go to the settings section and from the left sidebar, go to integrations. Now on this integrations page guys, what we have to do, we have to search for webhooks. Select webhooks over here and then here it is giving us the field to add the webhook. Just clear the default response and paste the exact same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy it from here and paste it over here. And after pasting this webhook URL, just click on Complete Integration. Now when we click on Complete Integration, we have successfully added this webhook URL in our Jotform. And this form is now connected with Pabbly Connect, so that every time we receive a new form submission in Jotform, automatically the details of this same form submission will be received inside Pabbly Connect. And here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, it is showing us waiting for webhook response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some form responses, some form submission data from Jotform. So let's do it. We are going to make a dummy form submission right now. I will just go to the publish section of this form, copy the link of this form and paste it in a new tab. And we are going to make a test form submission over here. For example, the name of the person is demo user. This is the email address of this person who is making the form submission. This is a dummy mobile number and the company name is, for example, Pabbly. So we have just entered the details of a dummy user. Now let's click on submit. When we click on submit, you can see we have received a new response in Jotform. And because we have connected this form with Pabbly Connect, we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow in this trigger window, instantly within seconds, we have received the response. And in this response, you can see the details of the exact same form submission. You can see the same first name, same last name, same company name, same email, and also the mobile number. This means the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. We have successfully connected our Jotform with Pabbly Connect and received the form responses in our Pabbly Connect workflow. So the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. Now let's move to step 2. And in step 2, we want to send these same form responses to Salesforce so that we can add the same person who made the form submission with these details as a lead in our Salesforce CRM. For that, we will just scroll down, come to this action window, and here in Choose App, search for Salesforce. Just select it. After selecting Salesforce, in action event from the drop-down, select the action event as Create Lead. So because we want to add this person as a lead, that's why we are selecting Create Lead as the action event. If you want to add this person as a contact in your Salesforce account, you can select Create Contact as the action event as well. After selecting our action event, just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Salesforce account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, just click on this Connect with Salesforce button. Now because I have already logged in my Salesforce account in my browser, Pabbly Connect will detect the same account and it will ask us for the access permission. Just click on this Allow button, and as we click on Allow, we will see our Salesforce account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the last name. That what is the last name of this person to whom we want to add as a lead in Salesforce. So we have received the response of last name, first name, and all the other details from Jotform. So here in the trigger window in the responses, you can see we have received the last name of the person. And now what we have to do, from this trigger responses of form submission which we have received from Jotform, we have to map this response of last name into this last name action field. Now here guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Just click on this field, and here in this drop down, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Jotform of a new form submission. And out of all of these responses from the drop down, select the response of last name and it will be mapped over here. So whatever last name the user is going to enter while making the form submission, with the same name, with the same details, we are going to add that person as lead in Salesforce. After last name, it is asking us for the first name. So we have also received the first name from Jotform submission, and we will be using the same process of mapping once again. Just click here. From the drop down, just select the response of first name and it will be mapped. Then it is asking us for the title. So we haven't received the response of the title from Jotform responses. And the field of title is also not mandatory. It's not required. So if you want, you can ignore this field for now. Then it is asking us for the company. So just click here and from the Jotform responses, select and map the response of company over here. Then it is asking us for the phone number. So we will be using the same process of mapping and mapping the phone number received from Jotform. And at last, we are going to map the email address. In this way, if you want, you can get all of these details according to your choice from form submission and map these responses into their respective field. Then it is asking us for the website description. So we haven't received these details and these are not mandatory, are not required. So you can ignore these fields for now. You can keep this field blank for now as well. Then it is asking us lead source. And in the drop down here, you can see some options over here. So because we are getting these leads from Jotform, an online form, so I will be selecting lead source as web over here. Then it is asking us the status, that what will be the status of this new lead that we are creating in Salesforce. And again, in the drop down, you can see different options. The first status is open, the next one is working, closed and not converted. So because we are just creating some new leads, so we will be keeping the status of these new leads, which are going to create using this automation as open. Then it is asking us for the rating. We have 3 options, hot, warm and cold. So you can select any option according to your choice. Then street, city, country. So we haven't received the details of the address from Jotform responses. So you can ignore this field. If you have created the field and received the response of these details, you can map that data over here as well. And after mapping all the required details which you have received, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you will see we have received some response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the details which we have mapped over here, basically the person who made the form submission. With the same details, we have added that person as a new lead in Salesforce. So let's check it. We will go to the Salesforce account. We will go to the lead section. And yes, here you can see that demo user, the same person whose details we have entered while making the form submission in Jotform, the same person with the same details is now added as a lead in Salesforce. You can see the same name, same company, same lead source which we have selected. You can see the same mobile number, email address, lead status and rating as well. This means guys, the step 2 of setting up this automation is also completed. We have successfully added the lead in our Salesforce account for the person who made the form submission in Jotform. And in the responses of this step, here you can see we have received the ID. So this is the new lead ID which we have just now created in Salesforce. So in Salesforce, in the URL section, you can see this is the unique ID of the lead which we have created. And you can see in the response, we have received the response of the same new lead ID. So just keep this lead ID in mind guys. We will be using this new lead ID in the next step while adding this lead into a campaign. So after step 2, we will move to the step 3, the final step. And in the step 3, what we want to do, we want to add this new lead which we have created in Salesforce into a particular campaign in our Salesforce account. Now to do this, just scroll down and click on this add action step in your workflow. After clicking on it in choose app, once again we'll search for Salesforce. Just select it. And this time in action event from the drop down, we are going to select the action event as add lead to a campaign. Just select it. Then just click on connect. Now because we have connected our Salesforce account with Pabbly Connect in the previous step, we don't have to make a new connection over here. You can select the existing connection and then just click on save. And when we click on save, we will see once again our Salesforce account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the campaign ID. And in this dropdown, you can see a list of all the campaigns which we have created in our Salesforce account. Let me show you. I'll just go to the campaign section of my Salesforce account and here you can see these are all the campaigns which I have created over here. Now from this dropdown, I have to select the campaign that in which particular campaign in Salesforce I want to add this new lead using this automation. So I have a campaign named as integration and I want to add these new leads received from Jotform into this campaign named as integration in my Salesforce CRM. So I will be selecting integrations as the campaign over here. After campaign, it is asking us for the lead. So in the dropdown, you can see a list of all the leads which we have in our Salesforce account. Now it is asking us that to which particular lead we want to add to campaign. Now here guys, we are creating new lead for each and every form submission. This means every time we are going to add a new lead to a campaign, there will be a new lead, a different lead. So instead of selecting the lead from the dropdown, what we are going to do, we will just turn on the mapping button in front of it and clear the default response. And after creating a new lead in the previous step, as I have shown you, we have received a unique lead ID. So here in the previous step, you can see in response after creating the lead, we have received this response of lead ID which we have just now created with the form responses. Now what we have to do, we will be mapping this response of lead ID in this lead ID field. Just click here and from the drop down, this time from the Salesforce create lead step, select the response of ID and map it over here. In this way, the person who is making the form submission will be added as a lead, and in the next step, we will be adding that same person, that same lead into this campaign in our Salesforce account. After mapping the lead ID, the last thing it asks us is the status. So in the dropdown, you can see we have three different options: planned, received, and responded. So I want the status of all of these leads in this campaign as planned. So I'm selecting this particular status over here. And then just click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, again we will see we have received some response. And this response also seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the lead whose ID we have mapped over here, basically the same lead which we have created using Jotform submission, Jotform responses, this same lead is now added into this campaign in our Salesforce account. So let's check it. We will go to our Salesforce account. This is the campaign. We will scroll down and right now here you can see there is only one lead in this campaign. We will just refresh this campaign page once And after refreshing it, here you can see demo user, the same person who made the form submission in our Jotform account, to whom we have just now added as a new lead in Salesforce. The same lead, the same person is now added to this campaign in our Salesforce account as well. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video, this automation is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new response in Jotform, automatically with the same details, we are going to add that person as a lead in Salesforce, and also we are going to add that same lead to a campaign in our Salesforce account. So here guys, after successfully setting up this automation, we are just going to test this automation workflow in real time. We will just go to the Jotform which we have created, and we are going to make another form submission to test this automation. This time the name of the person is test user. This is the email address of this person who is making the form submission. This is another dummy mobile number which we are going to enter. And then the company name is, for example, Pabbly Connect. This is the company name. Let's click on submit. So as we click on submit, you can see just now we have received a new response in Jotform which we have created. And as we receive this response, we will see instantly within seconds, the same person will be added as a lead in our Salesforce account. So we will just go to a Salesforce account. We will first go to the lead section. And now you can see that in lead section, the same person with the same details is added as a new lead. The name of the person is test lead, the same name, same company name, Pabbly Connect, same mobile number, and also the same email address. Now, after adding this person as a new lead, we have also added this lead into the campaign. So we'll go to the campaign section. We'll go to this campaign which we have selected, that is integration. And then here you can see in this campaign, this person is also added over here. The lead has been successfully added to this campaign too. This means guys, we have tested this automation in real time, and this automation is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone this same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.